It's the first half of 2024. We left 2023 with Barbenheimer blowing up the box office, SAG-AFTRA and the WGA went on strike, Rockstar actually released a GTA 6 trailer, and I am still a Dragon Ball fan. As a bit of a late send-off for the Year of the Dragon, I wanted to recap every significant moment in the Dragon Ball fandom from last year, when we were anticipating the release of Dragon Ball Daima and Sparking Zero. If I miss anything out, feel free to comment down below. Now, let's rewind back. Kicking off the year with the Super Dragon Ball Heroes Meteor Mission manga, it is on chapter 3, with Goku and Vegeta still fighting Majin Ozoto. Not too long after, someone commented on Stephanie Dodoni's TikTok hoping that she would reprise her role as Kid Goku again, and with her liking the comment. That's some early foreshadowing right there. Next up, the first Dragon Ball Super manga chapter has been released, and it's finally content post the superhero adaptation. There's Red Ribbon plotting their revenge, Broly trying to figure out how to master his strength, and Goku arriving to see Gohan. From the 23rd to 29th, fans got the chance to join the Dragon Ball Super card game Fusion World Open Beta with access to a limited amount of cards from the FS01-04 starter deck and Awaken Pulse booster pack set. I'm sure the card players know what any of that means. On the 28th of January, a lot of stuff happened. Apparently Vegeta is not a big fan of the government. Bandai announced Kakarot's next DLC, Sparking Zero revealed the Goku vs Vegeta rival trailer with no release date, and Dokkan is celebrating its 9th anniversary with the fans gambling on LR Gogeta, Broly, and on Beast Gohan and the Gammas halfway through February. But let's cap off January with Dragon Ball Daima Son Goku trailer. Although the animation looks amazing, there was zero dialogue or even mention of story details, plus Goku, especially Kid Goku with a Power Ball, ain't new to us. Halfway through February, episode 3 of Super Dragon Ball Heroes Meteor Mission is out. Okay, unlike in the 2015 video where I recapped Dragon Ball Super moments that got the community talking, I don't want to do it here for this particular season for Heroes, mainly because I don't think anyone talked about it, and also the less I think about the animation decision, the better. 2 days later, Goku's Next Journey DLC has been released, and it is absolutely worth it just for the Goku vs Vegeta rematch. And on the same day, Gohan is sparring against Goten and Trunks in the manga. Then they mess up their fusion again. However, it's not entirely bad, as we get to see Beast Gohan take on Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku, which, fun fact, on the Manga Plus website, this was the 6th most read chapter of 2024. A little bit after that, there's these leaked details of the new Sparking Zero trailer on 4chan, which suggests that it's about power versus speed, and that Ultra Instinct Goku, Jiren, and the Tournament of Power arc will be in the game. I found this kind of funny because they were obviously going to put that in the game in the first place, and I don't think we needed 4chan to confirm that. As we enter March, things have turned for the worst for the fandom, as it was announced on March 8th that Akira Toriyama, the creator of the franchise, had passed away on the 1st. This was truly the darkest day for the community, but in some ways, a kind of bonding experience. I'd never seen so many people unite over a common interest. People and celebrities putting out statements on how Toriyama's work has influenced them, from artists, fighters, content creators, musicians, the list goes on. His death still feels so unreal, but that's because he created something that will create a ripple effect of inspiration onto others, so his legacy will no doubt live on. Once again, from all of us, thank you, Akira Toriyama. It's March 1st, and the Dragon Ball Super card game Fusion World has been released digitally, so anyone who's a fan of the physical card game can play this game online for free on PC. On March 6th, the Twitter user that goes by Ash created these Sonic Dragon Ball hybrid illustrations. As a big fan of both franchises, this was a delight to see, and it's really well drawn. Another thing that happened on March is that someone put Cell on Gohan's Xbox.
Who put Cell on my Xbox? Was it my dad? No. Dad doesn't touch my stuff. Who did this?
I needed a little help on this one. So March 18th, it's apparently Saiyan Day in Japan. I just want to know, when was Saiyan Day established? Because all I can find are Dokkan related results. Please comment down below if you know. So March 20th, we got that Power vs Speed trailer for Sparking Zero. You know, the one that 4chan leaked. Which the main highlight for me here was Kale and Broly in a power struggle. In addition, on that same day, it's also the last chapter of Dragon Ball Super of the year, with Gohan helping Broly master Super Saiyan, a Saiyan Royal Rumble, the Red Ribbon giving up their plans, Goku meeting Pan, and on top of that, Piccolo waving goodbye. By the way, not Dragon Ball related, but still in the realm of Toriyama's work, the first 7 episodes of Sandland is out. If you're skeptical of checking it out, then you can watch my video talking about why you should see it, even if you've already seen Dragon Ball Daima. The next day, the creator of One Piece, Eiichiro Oda, announces that he'll take a 3-week break due to Toriyama's passing, so that he can focus on his own health. All I can say is, with the amount of chapters that man has drawn and written, I think he could could get away with a longer break, and it is important to realize the human limits that our favorite creators have. On the following day, construction is commenced for the very first Dragon Ball theme park. However, it looks like it will only be in Saudi Arabia, which might upset and confuse fans from America, Japan, or any Hispanic country. The truth is, Saudi Arabia has a lot of money, and Dragon Ball is like around the top 20 highest grossing franchises of all time. Plus, it already has a huge diverse fandom, and I can tell you that there's a lot of Middle Eastern fans as well. A few days after that, someone commented on Stephanie Nadolny's TikTok asking if she'll be back in Dragon Ball Daima. She responded saying, "No idea, I was not brought back for Kai back in 2010, so I have no clue." But here's the thing, I also remember someone brought up another comment that was somewhat related to Toriyama's passing, and also asking her if she can come back to play as Goku and Daima, and I remember her saying something along the lines of, "I'll see what I can do." I'm not sure if she deleted a comment or what, but please tell me I wasn't the only one that saw it. On March 28th, it was announced that the Dragon Ball Super manga will be put on hiatus, but remember that page of Piccolo waving goodbye in the last Dragon Ball Super chapter? Well, Toyotaro revealed that it was actually Toriyama's idea, as the original plan was for Piccolo to fly off with everyone else. So legally, he can't reveal Toriyama's actual drawing, so he did a redraw of it. So there's a few things that people took from this. Toriyama also shipped Piccolo with Pan's teacher, but most importantly, how it signifies Toriyama saying goodbye to the world through his favorite character. As heartwarming as that was, let me ruin the vibe with Future Trunks doing the Cleveland Show intro.
My name is Future Trunks, and I am proud to be right back in my timeline. I have no family.
Another thing that happened on April was the reveal of Dragon Ball Super's Android 18 and Videl as DLC in Xenoverse 2. And honestly, a lot of the community and I were not fond of the idea of these two characters being paid to play. For one, both characters already exist in the base game and could have been added as another variation or partner costume, and even with the inclusion of a new combo and superset, they could have used that development time to bring actual new characters in the game, especially with the Tournament of Power arc introducing a larger, unique female cast, but I guess it's whatever helps pays for the development of Sparking Zero in the end of the day. Speaking of, Bandai revealed the Master and Apprentice trailer, so this will be the first time that Beerus and Whis will be playable in a Tenkaichi game, but also future Gohan has one arm like he should have in the beginning, so no more limped arm Gohan anymore. Okay, just one more Dragon Ball TikTok for the road.
I'm gonna get you let away with this, You kill Krillin, you kill Trunks, not gonna let you get away with this, you kill my daddy.
On Star Wars Day, which didn't feel like Star Wars Day for a multitude of reasons, there was some Dragon Ball drama. To explain, Fenyo is a promotional artist slash animator for Shueisha, but mostly known for his work with Dokkan Battle and Dragon Ball Legends. I remember it being something like someone from the company reworked his Dokkan animation after he had submitted it to them, and I believe he vented his frustration through his Instagram story. I can't find any screenshots except for this translation right here that says, "The deeper you love the art, the easier it is to lose heart when the final is so different from the original, and that the reality of the world is that the one who pays out has final say, and the only way around that is to Elon Musk the whole thing and buy out the company. Often I am forced to redraw existing works after having already have drawn them and being told it was rejected. When this happens, the artist loses heart. If you're an ordinary artist, you would be heartbroken. I could always say no, but it would be a problem for everyone, including the customers, so I always have to deal with it even through the tears. It's been like this since the start, and I doubt it will ever change." And he also posted a side-by-side pic of Vegeta's posture, which seems like a dig at Toyotaro and Toy Animation. Well, apparently his account is set on auto post, so that's why there's a lot of re-uploaded artwork. As for my thoughts on all this, I understand and can empathize with him. To have created or thought something great just for a higher up to disapprove and change it after how much you've put in it can suck, but that's part of the deal when you're working for a big company. And I wouldn't have taken my frustration through to my 100k followers, most likely to a friend or colleague that I can trust. Skipping over May the 4th into Goku Day, as we got the unveiling of the next Dragon Ball arcade game, Dragon Ball Super Divers. This means that Super Dragon Ball Heroes Arcade will be discontinued. If you're wondering what will happen to the cards, they're still playable through Divers Super Dragon Ball Heroes game mode. Besides that, nothing else really happened on Goku Day, which made the fans and myself upset. Not even another teaser for Dragon Ball Daima, or even a Sparking Zero trailer featuring every Goku in the game. However, I fittingly released my Dragon Ball in 2010 video on that day, which sparked like this series, and also my enthusiasm to continue making videos on the channel. And I cannot stress enough, thank you to anyone that saw that video and they recommended and clicked on it, and to anyone who saw this video in their feed and decided to watch it, you guys are awesome too. More awesome than the Future Saga Chapter 1 DLC for Xenoverse 2. Like for the recent Xenoverse 2 content, it's better than what we previously had. The characters in this pack are the already revealed Dragon Ball Super Videl and Android 18. The original Broly is in there with a unique Super Saiyan transformation, and there's Ultra Super Villain Super Saiyan God Vegeta and Rose Goku Black, which was memed a lot with the "we got McDonald's at home" joke. But like I said, the story was actually pretty good, with the whole Goku training in Zamasu's body, and seeing an alternate timeline in which Vegeta went Super Saiyan God against Beerus instead of Goku is actually pretty cool. So this is where things are going to be a bit dark. So basically on May 22nd, the Japanese voice actor for Yamcha, Toro Furia, posted his apology tweet. He did announce a month later that he was going to step away from voice acting. All I can say is that I'm very disappointed in him, and I'm wishing nothing but support to the people that he had hurt. It's May 25th and Dragon Ball Legends is celebrating its 6th anniversary, with LF Super Vegito and Gogeta Blue as the main summons for the banners. So I took a break from my 2-year sobriety from this game and actually played it to save up on those characters. I got Gogeta Blue, but no Super Vegito, and I didn't get the Super Saiyan God Goku or Ultimate Gohan that came for the second wave, and I didn't get the Ultra Super Saiyan for Gogeta. So I'm not going to play the game until there's a new story event or the next anniversary banner. A few days after, we got the Fused Warriors trailer for Sparking Zero, featuring basically every fusion character in the game duking it out with each other. And to end off May with Spectacular Spider-Man number 4's variant cover by Francesco Boboli, I hope that's how you pronounce it, paying tribute to Toriyama with his illustration of Peter and Miles posed in a similar fashion to Gohan and Goku's father-son Kamehameha. In June, it's the Summer Game Fest, and we got another Sparking Zero trailer, declaring the official release date on October 11th. Not only that, but they revealed how the game will handle what-ifs, Gogeta and Broly as early unlocks if you pre-order, and an awesome looking what-if statue of Ultra Instinct Goku fighting Broly if you don't look too close at it. Plus, during Summer Game Fest, they showed off 11 minutes of footage and a custom battle mode, which got people pre-planning their what-ifs. At around the same time, My Adventures with Superman revealed Supergirl in her civilian clothes, which was confirmed to be inspired by Android 18's clothes from the Cell arc. On top of that, they had an alt cover for the physical releases that is reminiscent of the last Dragon Ball volume cover. On June 21st, we got this new illustration of Goku and Dragon Ball Daima. They were really committed to this very minimalist marketing. And on the same day, the drink makes its debut.
Call him the what?
When I was a kid, niggas called me the juice box, but now I'm the drink.
They call him the what?
From June 21st to July 28th, a Dragon Ball pop-up appeared in Bandai Namco Cross Store in Camden, which is in London. I was annoyed that I missed out on this, but I gotta check out that store the next time I'm in London. I recall at around the same time, P. Diddy was finally exposed for being the horrible person that he is, so of course TikTok made the Diddy Force memes. On the second, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot randomly got a free update which included a side mission about Mr. Satan trying to impress his daughter. It had zero marketing or anything. People just found out about this from suddenly opening the game one day, but I'm guessing this was due to the game selling over 8 million copies. Halfway through July, Fortnite data miners found a model of Lego Goku that's meant to be for Lego Fortnite. Sadly, nothing has come from this, so here's me holding out hope for an overpriced Lego Dragon Ball set. The following day, this is when we learned about the IP disputes for the Dragon Ball product between Shueisha and Capsule Corporation Tokyo due to Toriyama's passing. If you're not aware of this, to explain, this guy named Akio Ioku used to work for Shueisha in the Dragon Ball room department, but then the higher-ups at Shueisha didn't like how he was managing things without letting them know. For example, approving the Sandland anime without them. So they moved him to a different department. He was annoyed by this, so he left Shueisha with a few of their own staff, and then created Capsule Corporation Tokyo. And Toriyama let him hold on to his IPs, except that manga is still done by Shueisha. But now that Toriyama has passed away, and Toriyama's family now holds the rights to Bird Studio, it's up to them to decide on the future of this work, which honestly sounds stressful, especially with how soon he had passed away. I really hope that a resolution does come in which the right people can remain happy. Meanwhile, a new trailer for Dragon Ball Daima came out, and once again doesn't have dialogue or doesn't reveal much, other than the reveal of the release date, which is in October. At around this time, San Diego Comic-Con is coming back, and Toyotaro released his illustration of Goku for the event. And towards the end of the month, Bandai releases the Saiyan and Dynamic Saga trailer for Sparking Zero. To cap off July, Dr. Disrespect was going through his allegations, and someone replied to him with a certain Gogeta meme. What's funny is that he retaliated towards that tweet, and people started spamming him with more Gogeta images. As we move on to August, it is the Paris Olympics, and as you can see here, a lot of the winners celebrated doing anime poses, especially the Kamehameha and the Ginyu Force poses. Also, they played the Ultra Instinct theme at the event. August 8th delivers us the final Super Dragon Ball Heroes episode. Although it's sad that this is the way that they had to end the series, I will appreciate Heroes for keeping the anime scene for Dragon Ball alive ever since Super ended. On the same day, Dragon Ball Project Multi was announced. Who would have thought that Dragon Ball League of Legends could be so interesting, especially with its art style. And a couple days later, Trunks, Android 18, and 17 make their Fortnite debut, and of course, I bought them all. On the 11th, YouTube Gaming tweeted this. I don't know, I just thought it was cool to share. And a couple days after that, Bandai released the Android Saga trailer for Sparking Zero, and of course it had to have the Tamashii vs Tamashii song in there. On August 19th or 20th, Project Multi has its regional beta test, so players that signed up got to play it up to the 3rd. And for the most part, the fan reception has been pretty positive, with the main praise being the graphics and art style and the cosmetics for the characters. Meanwhile, Bandai reminds us that Sparking Zero will be released in 50 days with this new trailer, and we have still yet to see the whole roster. Also on the same day, an animator that goes by Kinzoku Mato created this reimagining of the Dragon Ball The Magic Begins final battle, so it looks like early Dragon Ball Z. But I recommend watching the knockoff Taiwanese live action film first, just so you have full context of what's happening, and not gonna lie, it's actually a pretty fun watch. In the meantime, Black Myth Wukong just came out, so how fitting is it that there's a mod that allowed players to play as Goku. Soon after that, Super Dragon Ball Heroes had its last animation opening, showing Beat, the main avatar mascot, journeying through his previous updates and transformations, and this might be the last time we see Yamamura's art style being animated for this franchise. And to further solidify Heroes' end, Toyotaro has come back to finish Victory Missions manga with the Super Dragon Ball Heroes Trail Heroes Memories, where we see the previous Heroes mascots, Beats and Note, all growing up and leading the next Avatar heroes. And what a way to end August. Concurrently, September just hits us with straight up brain rot, from Water Vegeta, more TikTok trends, and who can forget Kaba vs Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Well, it's not all brain rot with the fandom, as the talented people from the Xenoverse 2 revamp team released a big update that basically made the community question the capabilities of the actual developers for the game. Also on the same day, James Marsters, known for the voice of Zamasu and playing King Piccolo in Dragon Ball Evolution, was on Michael Rosenbaum's podcast, and they talked about how bad the film was and also why his performance as Zamasu is an apology for that movie. Well, with the work that he did for Dragon Ball Super, all I'm gonna say is apology accepted. On the next day, Dragon Ball FighterZ had a huge gameplay patch. I played a lot of fighters, but not enough to actually bother to learn the basic pro combos in the game. So when I see gameplay now looking like this, it makes me scared to ever approach online rank ever again. In the same day, we got a proper trailer for Dragon Ball Daima. Not only does it contain bits of dialogue, but we now know that Zed is doing the opening theme for the anime, and the sample we got from this trailer got me really hyped to see and hear the full thing. Next up is the next trailer for Sparking Zero, featuring the Buu Saga characters, and it had the We Got a Power opening theme. Personally, I would have preferred the We Were Angels ending theme, but beggars can't be choosers. Plus, for a game that's coming out less than a month, the full character roster in the end of the trailer looked really lackluster as compared to the previous Tenkaichi titles, so this got us kind of worrying for a bit. 6 days later, there were these rumors going around that Stephanie Nadolny will be reprising her role as Kid Goku in Daima, which definitely got people hyped for the English dub. And the following day, we got the long-anticipated GT trailer for Sparking Zero, which coincidentally was released around the time that Dr. Disrespect came back to social media. Also around this time, a Japanese media company uploaded Sparking Zero gameplay on their YouTube channel, which ended up being unlisted, and this basically leaked the whole roster. So when the next Sparking Zero trailer came out, which featured Dragon Ball Super characters, a lot of us had already known that the movie characters were going to be included, but it was cool seeing them add more hexagons in the end, which keeps us on our toes for how big this roster is going to be. But the Dragon Ball hype doesn't stop there, as we got the English dub trailer for Daima, featuring the return of Stephanie Nadolny, which was manifested ever since January. Not to mention, the trailer announced that the dub will have a theatrical premiere in the US and Canada in November. Not too long after that, Dokkan makes a huge announcement for their unification of operation schedule between the global and JP players, so now everyone will get the same content at the same time. I don't know how people who own a JP account along with global one are affected by this, like maybe they can sell it, but I think it's time to run back those global versus JP events again, because JP had non-Japanese players playing their game too, so it's time to see who are the biggest gamblers between the both of them. Next up, as a fun promotion for Sparking Zero's Collector's Edition, Bandai sent the statue to space, which is pretty cool, but notice how no aliens didn't try grabbing it, probably because of how ugly it looks. At around this time, the next coming Prime Minister of Japan dressed up as Majin Buu. I don't know about Japanese politics, so either this is a fun gesture by him, or this is foreshadowing the city's destruction. It's always 50-50 with our world leaders these days. And who says that Dragon Ball fans are the worst when Team Morolo removed the green tint from the Dragon Ball Kai Buu saga, so it can be watched in the way it should be seen. Now it is October and things are gonna get crazy. Jumping off the bat, Sparking Zero outdid Black Ops 6 in pre-order sales. Secret Labs revealed a crossover collab with Dragon Ball. Please, Secret Labs, send this to me. And this guy named Edgar got his hand on the game really early and was basically live streaming and spoiling the big what ifs in the game. It even reached the point where Bandai even commented on his live streams to basically tell him to stop and they would copyright strike the streams. Nevertheless, it was a funny prelude to the actual game experience. Next up is the last Sparking Zero trailer, which features elements from the game's opening cinematic. A couple days later, Sparking Zero is sponsored in WWE's Bad Blood pay-per-view, so you can see the logo plastered all over the screens in the arena during Finn Balor vs Damian Priest's match. And Xavier Woods showed off the custom Sparking Zero car for the event. During that same day, the Saudi Arabia Football Club fans created the first and biggest tifo of Broly in the stadium, which looks great, but neither version of Broly wore that gi, so I think this was a fan drawing or something. They're making it really hard to defend themselves over this theme park. The next day, Death Battle is back after some corporate shenanigans with Warner Brothers, which was absolutely crazy, and they're starting off strong with Omni-Man versus Bardock. And let me just say, last year I got really hooked onto Invincible to the point that I started reading every single comic, because screw waiting for season 3 to happen, which I highly recommend unless you're willing to wait 8 years for the series to end. Either way, I posted my reaction to this Death Battle, but all I'm gonna say is I was very surprised that Bardock didn't have the strength advantage, and I reckoned that Bardock was gonna lose because, you know, he can't breathe in outer space, and Omni-Man can hold his breath for a very long time. But yeah, the reception was kind of similar to Goku vs Superman, just not as toxic, and if you read the comics like I did, I reckon they would do a Vegeta vs Omni-Man Death Battle. So if you were a big fan of the Ocean dub of Dragon Ball, then it's with sad news to recollect the passing of Doc Harris. He was the OG narrator for the series back in the day, and as someone who didn't grow up watching the Ocean dub, his narration definitely feels like I'm floating back in time during the mid-90s for whatever reason. May he rest in peace, and I'm wishing for the best for his family and his friends.
Nice work, Goku. But will the Kaioken attack be enough against Vegeta? Stay tuned.
It's October 7th, so if you had pre-ordered Sparking Zero digitally, then you got to play it 3 days earlier. And as someone who did do that, I was basically instantly hooked with the game. I played the previous Tenkaichi games in order to prepare for this one, and it's amazing how comfortable I was playing it. So while people were stuck on the Grade 8 Vegeta fight, I knew all it takes is just a solar flare and a super move spam just to beat him. And what's better to celebrate this momentous occasion with the Hobby Genki Dragon Ball beanies, if it didn't somehow sell out immediately. And with this day and age with PC modding, modders can straight away just add assets if they want, just like how Lord Balvin created a VR mod so you can look at the main menu in first person. At this point, I just need someone to add movement controls so we can get Dragon Ball Z for the Connect 2 in there. And now we have one commercial left for Sparking Zero, and now everyone can purchase the game while watching Daima on the side. By the way, just for my sanity, I won't be recalling episodes of Daima like I did with Dragon Ball Super in the 2015 video, because Daima is so lore dumpy that it might as well be a video of its own. At around this time, Kyle Hebert is doing live streams on TikTok just basically saying brain rotted terms in Gohan's voice.
Trunks, why do they call you the drink? Is it because Vegeta's the cup?
I feel like this is proof that voice actors need to be paid more. A few days later, data miners found hidden content for Sparking Zero. This would include Kaioken Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Goku and Blue Evolution Vegeta as possible scrapped transformation slots, bell mods, character icon, maybe an internal ID to suggest that Super 17 was planned for the game, and later it was discovered that Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta had a unique transformation animation, which could suggest that base form GT Vegeta was planned or will be introduced as DLC in the game. On October 14th in Asian countries and 18th in the rest of the world is Daima's debut on Netflix. It's just a bit annoying though because it's one episode behind from Crunchyroll's schedule. During that period, I saw a video on Twitter of someone playing Sparking Zero on their Switch. I feel like that thing is going to explode. And if the Sparking Zero hype couldn't get any more crazier, it was announced that it became the fastest selling Dragon Ball game of all time, with 3 million units sold in the first 24 hours of release. Although the worst news was that apparently users' saved data was being deleted. I never encountered this issue, but definitely sucks for the people who were stuck on Grade 8 Vegeta. However, in other Bandai non-Sparking Zero news, Xenoverse 2 announced their second chapter for the Future Saga DLC, and Kakarot released a teaser for their Daima expansion. In that time frame, Akira Toriyama was inducted into the Harvey Awards Hall of Fame at New York Comic Con. If Toriyama was still alive, we all know he wouldn't have attended the ceremony, but he definitely deserves this accolade. On October 21st, Toyotaro is back doing a one-shot manga for Dragon Ball Super Divers, which in a way is him doing his own rendition of the Saiyan saga, which he does a pretty good job at doing that. Simultaneously, Bandai released these SH figure art photos of Goku in the first Dragon Ball volume cover for Dragon Ball's 40th anniversary, which reminder is on November 20th, which by the way, Bandai, if you send me this figure, I'll take back everything I said about the Sparking Zero statue. Later on, the Dokkan Assets Twitter page revealed that the full Super Saiyan Goku might be the next big release in the game. I haven't played Dokkan in years, so as far as I can see, this character never came out, which kinda sucks because a lot of us kinda want a proper name for this form. On October 30th, it was announced that modded custom battles would be banned, so this basically means that anyone that's uploaded custom battles with, let's say, Chi-Chi modded in there, they'll have to remove them, otherwise they'll risk getting banned from the game. But that didn't stop modders from inserting the chippy Vegeta from Fighters into the Shadow Generations. With that being said, Sparking Zero was a huge success, that it became the second most sold game in October, just behind Black Ops 6. So big congrats to Bandai. Subsequently, the TN TikTok memes happened, followed along with the return of the Trunks Android meme in November. So on November 1st, V-Jump released their new magazine for the Sparking Zero page. We go to see deleted content for Gohan Black using a scythe like Goku Black does, which he never does in the game. And the next day, we got the unveiling of the new Goku balloon for the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade, which is a major improvement from the first one. 5 days later, Dokkan and the Dragon Ball Super card game announced their collaboration. Just from my quick research, I don't think anything has fully formed from this yet. I don't play either game, so I can't say for certain, but if you know, please comment down below. Also, on November 7th, the official Dragon Ball Heroes Twitter account tweeted another goodbye message. The game is still playable in Dragon Ball Super Divers. At this point, I think they just want me to make a retrospective of the whole series or something. On the following day, Sparking Zero announces the Dramatic Showdown tournament. I'm just gonna save you some time and tell you this was a big waste of time. The French players just basically ruined it by just basically going up and down as the android characters. It kind of just proved that maybe Sparking Zero is not ready for the online competitive scene, or there should be a proper competitive game mode in there. And sadly, November is not a good month for Sparking Zero, as the player base drops by 90%, I believe only on Steam, which mainly came down to people already 100% in the game, or they're just moving on to a different game, as well as a few other issues. Meanwhile, there's a new Dragon Ball Super Divers manga, and it's going to be done by the same person who did the Super Dragon Ball Heroes Avatars manga, which I want to do a video on that one day. From November 10th to November 12th, it is Dragon Ball Daima's English dub premiere in theaters, but only in America and in Canada. So not only did they get to watch the first 3 episodes in English with Stephanie Dodoni back as Goku, but the film plays a message from Moscow Nozawa. I cannot stress this enough, I really hate living in the UK. But hey, at least Sparking Zero wins PlayStation Player's Choice for October. Right? During this time, if you open Dragon Ball Legends, you can see on the bottom left where it has all those copyright names and stuff that Toyotaro's name is on the bottom left, which could indicate that he might be taking over the story role for Dragon Ball in the future. In Hong Kong, Dragon Ball Daima has a collab with McDonald's, and what the hell is that thing? And the collabs get even weirder as Fortnite introduced their new shoes update, which there's a bit of back and forth, but finally you can play as any character and wear J's with them. It is November 19th, and it is the FIFA 26 World Cup, and to promote the Japan vs China qualifiers, they created illustrations of Goku facing Sun Wukong, which is absolutely insane, but you know, no one can beat Goku because Japan won by 7-0. While that happened, we got a teaser for Kanton City getting destroyed for the Future Saga Chapter 3 DLC. The Chapter 2 DLC isn't even out yet, but when it was released the following day, all I'm gonna say is, it was very lackluster, and if Chapter 3 doesn't live up to any sort of hype, I'm not gonna buy it, and I'm just gonna watch the cutscenes online, which is crazy because I bought every Xenoverse 2 DLC so far. On November 23rd, Kendrick said the word mustard really loud, which prompted everyone to tweet it with an image of Goku or another Saiyan character shouting it, and even Crunchyroll got on the action. Around that same time, Mall of America had like a Dragon Ball Daima like thing going on. I don't know, but it looks pretty cool, I guess. So I found this on November 24th, where there's a Super Saiyan Venom in the Venom comics now, and he has the chains wrapped around his arms like those memes on what if Goku was locked in the hyperbolic time chamber. I feel like surely there was a bit of inspirational crossover within there. A couple days after that, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods are dressed up as Goku and Goku Black. If you don't know anything about wrestling, all you need to know is that they were a tag team and they were having issues between them, and the costumes were meant to symbolize that. And if you're wondering what their future is like now, basically Kofi is now currently wearing a Majin necklace around his neck to symbolize that he's basically gone evil now, along with his tag team partner who is already on the dark side. Now back to some Sparking Zero news. It's been reported that it's become the best-selling Dragon Ball game in the US lifetime and ranks number 3 among all Bandai Namco's published titles in history, so trailing only Elden Ring and Dark Souls 3. And we're finally in December as we kick off a Seed of Might fixing the English dub of Dragon Ball Z Kai's Buu Saga, in that they used Team Merlo's color adjustments to fix the color grading for the show. And we finally got a confirmation that the Dragon Ball Daima dub will be publicly available on January 10th. In the time of recording this, they have only released 2 episodes of the dub so far, and this is a pain in the ass. However, CNK staff released the behind the scenes recording process for the Dragon Ball Daima opening featuring Zed. I enjoy Zed's music, but I will attend a concert if he actually plays this song live, which he actually did at the FNS Music Festival. And the following day, we got this new Sparking Zero patch, which made Gogeta's skin much more lighter, so I can't really relate to him anymore. There's more split screen maps, skills have been nerfed, and a lot of stuff I have yet to cover. It is December 12th, and it is the Game Awards. Sparking Zero was nominated for Best Fighting Game, but sadly lost to Tekken, which was kind of obvious that was going to happen. But in the end of the day, Bandai's winning, and why the hell is Multiverses in there? Supposedly, in a now deleted post on Threads, Toyotaro revealed that he is indirectly involved with Dragon Ball Daima, having designed several Kaioshin characters for the show. Which, if this is true, then that demonstrates how much trust that Toriyama has with him. On the 16th, there's this fake poster going around, which is meant to depict the next Dragon Ball Super season. I'm just glad that people are smart enough to not believe this. Nevertheless, we got an official illustration of Black Frieza for Jump Festa 2024. And we got even more news during this event, such as the return of the Dragon Ball Super manga for February, even though it's meant to be a one-shot that's a prequel to Dragon Ball Superhero, like as if we didn't get that before. There was a stage dedicated to Dragon Ball Daima, and it ends with a Kamehameha by voice actor Masako Nozawa. I believe during this part of the event, we learned that the voice actor for Tamagami number 2 in Dragon Ball Daima was voiced by Hideyuki Umezu, who sadly passed away in May at the age of 68. Just like Akira Toriyama and Doc Harris, may he rest in peace, and I'm wishing his friends and family all the best. While during Jump Festa, we get to see the new and better Goku and Vegeta mascot costumes, and they look significantly better than what we've seen before. On top of all of that, Toyotaro is drawing Goku on the V-Jump live stage. A day after the event, Kazuhiko Torishima, aka Toriyama's former editor, tweeted out that he finally got to see Toyotaro's work for the first time, stating that he wanted to tell the artist himself it's missing the most important cut. Such a shame. I wouldn't say this is harsh criticism, because this is Torishima, the guy who told Toriyama to keep redesigning the main villain for the Android saga. But he was also the one that founded Toriyama and also encouraged him to keep on making work. Sadly, there was no news about Sparking Zero during Jump Festa, but we found out it is the 4th most sold game of 2024, which is absolutely crazy until you realize number 1 is EA Sports College Football 25. Who's still playing that? As we're edging nearer to the Christmas holidays, Dragon Ball Legends released this live action trailer for Ultra Beast Gohan, which is very unusual for them to do. I was portrayed by my summons last time, so I knew I'm gonna stay away from this one. The day after the Christmas holidays, it was announced that Nahare's pierced and clip-on earrings will be purchasable by the end of 2025. And Dragon Ball Daima ends in 2024 with episode 12, as we see the canonical debut of Vegeta Super Saiyan 3, which I know there's a lot to say here, but I thought it was an interesting touch that they used the concept designs of Super Saiyan 3 for Vegeta's hair. And I just want to say thank you Bandai Namco for announcing the SH Figure Arts figure for Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta a day after the episode was released, because in the past they used to have a habit of spoiling things before we see those transformations appear on screen. And to fully cap off the video, I want to use this time to showcase the illustrations and thoughts by different mangakas this year for the Dragon Ball Super Gallery project, which is to commemorate Dragon Ball's 40th anniversary by having a different mangaka redesign one of the 42 original Dragon Ball volume covers, and this will continue until January 2025. And now I want to use this time to show off all of Toyotaro's monthly illustrations throughout the year, which if you don't know, he would draw a random Dragon Ball character every month, but after Toriyama's passing, he's been drawing other characters that Toriyama has made. I'll put this in the description below in case you want to read his thoughts on him. And that is 2024. Oh my god, this took ages to make. I apologize to anyone that was waiting patiently for this. I wanted to release this by mid or end of January, but as some of you may know, early January I was on vacation, and when I came back I wanted to work ASAP, but then I got sick, but then my throat got slightly better, but I can only do 5 minutes of recording a day, otherwise my throat just gave out. Hopefully that didn't sound wrong. But will I do this again next year? I'm not sure. It depends on how well this video does. Will Dragon Ball in 2016 be my next video? I'm gonna say no on that because I've already recorded another video and I want to focus on that for now. And honestly, I want to do other Dragon Ball retrospective videos because it gives me a lot more to talk about. Like, hey, Xenoverse 1 is 10 years old now. That's something I would like to reflect on. And that's all the rambling I can do so far. I hope you really enjoyed the video. Tell me if I missed anything and what were your favorite Dragon Ball moments of 2024. Comment down below, and thanks for watching and see ya next time.